Alright guys, so I promised you all a part 2 of this video of me trying to recover this buck that I shot muzzleloader. So I'm a holler and a ridge over from where he was shot. A holler down in there is the direction that he ran. That's where I found blood that I showed in the first video. And there's a creek down in here. I think it's pretty much dry. Swampy but dry. And I'm gonna walk down in here, and I'm gonna walk down in the bed of this holler and see if I can find anything. I know I won't find blood or anything like that, but just for my own peace of mind, I'm gonna at least try to see if I can't find maybe a little bit of bones, horns, what's left, because there's a few coyotes in here that like to, you know, try to trap up. So we'll see what we can find. Rifle season's in right now, but I'm not hunting. I'm just out here trying to find this deer for 1 and 2. I've got to try to figure out if he's dead or alive. I ain't sit right well with me since, but we'll go down in here and hit this old logging road down in here and see, walk it out and see if I can't figure out where he's at. Turkeys are being all over here though. That's real thick down in there. I know. I say I'm not hunting, but I've got a game. Yeah, I've got a game with me for coyotes. For 1 and 2, got bears down in here somewhere. I want to get eaten by a bear. Not literally eaten, but you know what I mean. I don't want any type of conflict in me back here alone. All I'm looking for is to try to see if I can't find something to indicate that he's dead. My batteries in my trail camera died on me. I couldn't get here to do it because I was on night shift at work. After working a 10-hour shift and the kind of work that I do, I'm pretty drained. It's not physical work, it's just, you know, mental. It drains your mental battery. So guys, this is it. This is this holler here that separates us. I walked a little bit in this holler on muzzleloading. I walked it about 3-4 times actually, trying to do a grid search the best I could. If I'd have found more blood, I would have called for a dog, but honestly, I didn't feel like it was a fatal shot. I honestly feel like it's just a muscle shot, but at the same time, there's always that possibility, you know, and I always want to do my very best to try. Even though that I'm about 100% sure it was just a flesh one, as we say. I'm sorry, I am too tired to cross that log, so as they say, humans always choose the path of least resistance because we're lazy. And I ain't gonna deny it. I'm lazy. I'm bringing you guys along with me firsthand here, just in case, you know, I'm actually able to recover this thing or not. Let's see though, guys. Let's see. I always just like to take my time and stop and look, because you never know what you'll see. Especially since I'm still kind of up high here and got a little bit of an advantage. Had it not been raining that day, I probably would have found more blood. Or at least a better blood trail, if there was one. Oh, my stomach hurting. I'm getting the bubble guts, and that's not a good sign. Because you know what? I quite frankly don't want to wear my boots out here with no socks. If you know, you know. Alright, I'm gonna shut this off, guys, so I can save my battery. Alright, guys, sorry about that. I had to take a little break here, and I still got my socks, but I don't have any short sleeves, so we'll let you guys figure out where those shirt sleeves are. So, hang on a second. But you know what? It's the raw part of living in the mountains and doing these things here in the outdoors. Is there's times that you forget things in the car, at the house, wherever, and there's times that you got to improvise. So yeah, I sacrificed a $15, $20 Walmart shirt. That's what I buy for this very reason here. The very simple fact of, you know, I'm hard on camouflage clothes because I wear them a lot when I'm out doing just general stuff outside, when I'm out running around fishing, hunting, fishing, bait, whatever. You know, most people just wear old clothes. Well, I wear my old clothes when I weed eat, but when I do anything else outside, this is what I wear. Guys, so here's the creek, or what's left of it. It's pretty low and pretty dry this time of the year, but I still want to look though. God, I still want to look. I hope I'm praying to goodness I can find this buck, and I hope he didn't suffer. So, I'm putting boots to the ground, guys. You guys are seeing firsthand that I'm doing my very best to recover this deer. Guys, like I've said time and time again, I won't preach this until my dying breath. We owe animals this much to try to figure out if we can recover it or not. And see, over there, guys, I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing over there. This is the back side of where he would have run. He would have run around the top there real high. So I've looked all this down through here, and so I owe it to the deer. For the 15th time you guys are going to hear it. Yes, I'm going to try to look some more. Guaranteeing shit. Pull it all up. And if I don't find it, I'll talk it up as a miss. But I am looking for more tail cameras too to see if maybe he's made it. Something. Guys, I live so far back in the mountains here. The closest tracking dog would have been like 2 to 3 hours away. And that's if they would have responded. Secondly, I didn't find this out until like the night of the next day. So you're looking at 30 to 40 hours. That there's a guy that lives about an hour away that has a drone, thermal drone, and he does a lot of recovery stuff. Had I known that, I would have called him. Like, hey, would you like to come try to recover this deer for me? But it was already too late at that point to have gotten the drone out by the time he would have got here. It would have been no way. But had I known that earlier, we would have had a little bit more to work with, wouldn't we? I'm just kind of taking my time, guys. I'm not doing any kind of formal grid search or line search or anything like that. Just taking my time here. Working my way down a little at a time. Just a little at a time here. Looking in the glass and seeing what I can see. A lot of people say that it might have been a gut shot, it might have been a liver shot. I don't think so. I think it's muscle. I think I just clipped him and he just bled just enough to make a mess. searched around most of all these deadfalls that I've been known to look for. I've searched around most of the water sources that I don't know that's in here, and I'm going back and double checking this one again. Just because I've got to try to figure out if he's down, if he's not down. If he's down, he's either a long ways off, or the coyotes have done got him one. Alright guys, this is getting pretty steep down in here, so I'm going to shut this off and I'll bring you guys back if we see anything. Alright guys, update real quick here. So I'm in the bottom of this holler here, and I turned around and was coming back up, and I noticed, you see the little big pine tree right there? Directly behind that, at the top of this ridge, there's buzzards are circling every now and then. They're not now, but they were just a minute ago. So I don't know if it was a thermal pocket or if that's where that deer is. Whether it's a thermal pocket or the deer, whatever, I'm gonna go figure it out. I'm gonna try, at least if I don't die trying, because it's steep up in here. Stick around guys, and I'll keep you updated on what we find. Here's you another view of the terrain I'm dealing with here, and these mountains, they're very steep, and I mean very steep. You take 2 steps up and slide back 5, so it's really hard to navigate, and I'm fat, so it takes me a little longer. Alright guys, there's a deer trail here going back up to where I saw those vultures are circling, so we're going to look in this general area here and see if maybe by the grace of God he ain't laying somewheres or leftovers of him anyhow. But I think I figured out where I'm at. I think I'm on the back side of where he was at, over the hill to the right from where that blood was. So when I mean over the hill, I mean down in the holler. That sounds like, I don't know. But we're gonna try to make it up through here, through all this thick stuff. You can look around a little bit and see and just make sure. Because I'm telling you guys, it was the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. The second biggest. Let me change to the second biggest. First biggest in my adult life. So, I wish I'd have got my Gatorade out of the car. Oh, by the way, Gatorade is not sponsoring this video, but if you guys do like Gatorade, I suggest you highly try the sour apple. By far, the very best. Alright guys, so I'm back where the vultures were circling, which is this area here. And after I came here, I'm pretty sure I've already searched this area here, because this area up there is where he was standing when he was shot. And then he ran around the hill here, and I lost blood about probably 40 yards from the fence line, which would have been about 100 yards from where he was shot until the point I found the blood. But this is one of the trails that's here that I walked the other day when it was wet around here. But you know, you never know when you may overlook something, especially when it's raining and foggy. So I'll walk it again here. Look, kind of see what we can't see, especially, you know, me having bad eyes and all. It's another reason why I like bringing my kids with me, because them is like a bloodhound when it comes to finding blood. That young can find blood in places I can't see, and he's still like pulling it out. Dad, right here's the blood. I'm like, where, Braden? Right here. And finally he ends up pointing it out, and I'm like, oh, there it is. If I hadn't had him with me, we would have never found it. But anyhow, guys, I want to look around here a little bit and then head on out if I can't find anything here soon. Hey guys, so I walked several miles today, about 2 miles I'm going to say, and I've not been able to find anything. I was at least hoping maybe a patch of hair or something, but that's not going to be a possibility. The only other option would be is that he's down, maybe crossed over and went down in there. I know got shot or liver shot, they'll travel several miles, sometimes 2 miles, before they bed down, but this deer wasn't pushed. To give him 4 hours before I even went to look for him. After I did get up and look in a clear cut, but that was nowhere near where I found the first blood. But anyhow, so I backed out, gave him about 4 hours, went back and looked, and still nothing other than what blood I posted in part 1. So this is part 2. Right now, I'm going to say that it was a muscle shot, possibly a liver or gut shot, but I'm highly doubtful. He was shot with a 50 caliber muzzleloader, Hornady SSTs, pushing 100 grain of Pyrex pellets. Everything I've shot with that has left good blood. It's been a good through and through. It's done some pretty massive damage as far as, you know, your wound channel and stuff like that goes. It's devastated at anything that I've ever shot with it. So I feel like I undershot him and nicked him, is honestly what I'm thinking. I don't think that it was a gut shot. I really don't. I think if it had been a gut shot, there would have been more blood somewhere down through there. But I may come back tomorrow and look down in this holler here and see. But it's pretty limited how far I can go because the adjoining landowners own some of this property on up above where we're at are not really neighborly. They really don't like you being on their property. And I can't fault anybody for that. And they definitely ain't going to give me permission to go look. It's just bad blood there. There's a long history, guys, between that feud there that I'm not getting into to make it public on YouTube. But anyhow, guys, this will do it for today. So please like, subscribe, comment if you like the video. If you don't like it, tell me. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings none. But I'm just a hillbilly here in the mountains trying to show some of you what my life is like when I'm not at work, how we survive here, because everything that we get, deer, turkey, squirrel, even down to squirrel, yeah, we take it home, we process it, and we eat it. Fish, we eat it. You know, it's a way of life that you guys that's never been here, never lived in the country, never hunted, never processed your own meat, never slaughtered a hog or butchered a cow, you see it, but you don't understand it. And I'm not trying to be rude. You just would have to live this lifestyle to understand how we live. And it is a tradition here. 9 out of 10 families deer hunt. It's just part of it. Getting a deer is a big thing where we're from here. Losing one is a bigger thing because you get rode pretty hard over it if you miss one, and if you hit one, like this case here, and it gets away. Most people are pretty sympathetic, and everybody's good to jump in and help you look for it. But the day that I shot this one, everybody that I know was at work. My brother-in-law was at work. My kids were at school. Everybody was gone. Had people been here, it would have been all hands on deck, and everybody would have jumped in to have helped. But this is part of it, guys. You give it all you got, you try, and then the end result is you either find it or you don't. And this is one of those cases I don't think it's going to happen. All right, guys. I appreciate you tuning in.